Dude, you should play this game more often, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, I'ma hop off, man.
Already, bro?
Yeah.
But I feel so at peace. Just completed.
Aw, man, let's do it tomorrow.
Fossils, specifically dinosaur fossils, are typically made when it dies. No, I won't do the scary red thing this time. Fossils like this one usually happen when a live, extinct, or not extinct animal dies, or living thing dies, and is usually buried under a bunch of crust layers. In this case, specifically dinosaur bones, they're an extinct species, yet we find their fossils almost everywhere on this planet because they used to be alive. Whoa! That was so cool! But look, basically, without these fossils, we wouldn't have much information like we do to this day. Because these fossils actually help us figure out historical and geological and animal-clinical information about the past, present, and sometimes the future. I know last time I took a long time, man, but I want to get this done now because you should have got your project done 5 days ago. I didn't hit you this time. But look, basically, these fossils are very important, man, because without these fossils, as I said, we wouldn't have as much information as we do today. There are 3 different types of rock types, as you didn't know, and this is very important to know because without these rock types, we wouldn't be able to have fossils like this. And the 3 are metamorphic, igneous, and sedimentary rocks. The dinosaur bones, they are formed of sedimentary rocks. So sedimentary rocks are rocks that have layers of like mud, sand, dirt, and whatever else life has to bring, builds up over time.
Oh, dude, you're basically saying that the entire ground I'm walking on, which is a double-story house, is made of dirt and sand.
That don't make sense to you? What do you mean?
How does that make sense?
Well, that's because you're an idiot. You don't ever study. So let's go outside for a second.
I said let's go outside for a second, little boy.
Basically, sedimentary rock. Is this layers you see right here. This dirt was originally not here before. Shut up! This dirt was basically not here before. Until a bunch of debris, dirt, mud, and whatever life offers piles up and hardens over time. This shovel's very bent, but that doesn't matter. If I were to dig in this ground and go all the way down, I could potentially find megalodon fossils. And I'm gonna prove it to you right now. No. Sedimentary rock is the most common rock for fossils to be found in due to the compression of the animals. So you can find a megalodon in these type of rocks. Look! Megalodon! See that, guys? That could die one day and become a fossil in sedimentary rock. This is the same thing that happened with dinosaurs, because one day this thing will die and become a fossil for future generations to find. Right now, I could be balling on these dead animals because I don't know what's under the sedimentary rock.
Anyways, since we got down the sedimentary rock thingy thing, we now know how these rock forms are formed. For more detail, we really want to look at the fossil. Where are the bones? The bones are gone, and that's for a reason, because these bones actually deteriorate over time. The process of fossils happening over time is basically when an alive thing or organism dies, and then over time, its skin rots and dies and gets eaten alive. And eventually its bones actually start sinking down. Well, not just sinking down, but actually, as I told you before, a bunch of mud, sand, particles, whatever you want to say, builds up over time into crust layers. Over time, the bones deteriorate, leaving a cast-like looking shape, like how a sword needs a cast in order for it to be made. And just like a sword, you gotta put some sort of liquid in it, so it can harden and have its shape. Just like a fossil, over time, water gets inside of this fossil cast, and eventually turns into mud. This mud hardens and makes the bones again, if that makes sense. It isn't the bones, but it's the mud that makes the form and shape of this dinosaur. And since it's mud, it won't deteriorate and it won't die. It stay alive, having a bunch of organisms, cells, and whatever else living inside of the mud, keeping it alive. Sometimes we are lucky enough to find the bones before it deteriorates, because the bone to deteriorate, it does take a lot of time. And trust me, we want to find that bone before it deteriorates. If we find the bones before it deteriorates, this is why. Basically, if we find the bone before it deteriorates, we can give it to scientists and geologists, whatever we gotta do, whatever which ist we gotta give it to, and we can study its bones and get more information off of that. Obviously, still having the cast of a fossil is great, because we still get a lot of information of it, but finding the bone is a lot more greater, because we get a lot more detail of its shape, its face, how it looked, you know. And the same thing does it's the same properties for the we just want the bones. Just give us a break, man. Us scientists, those scientists really want the bones. Just let them have it, man. And you might think, Mr. Billy Bob,
That's not your name.
yeah, what is my name? I never gave myself a name.
You never gave yourself a name.
Oh man, I never had a name. My parents just called me, and that's it.
I didn't even know you didn't have a name because I never asked for your name.
Yeah, man, you should ask my name.
What's your name? I don't know. I'll call you Jeff.
Jeff.
I like it.
Well,
Stop with
Jeff,
the deep
I'm ready
voice.
to- Okay, my bad. As I said before, if we give it to the right scientist, the right type of scientist, we can figure out a lot of things. The rock alone is able to give us a lot of information, because depending on how deep the fossil is buried in the rock, we can tell how much time it's been. So if this is dirt and this is where the fossil is, we can tell that it's been like some millions of years probably, because bones do not get fossilized that quick, especially if the dirt's here and the fossils are here. The oldest fossil of a dinosaur was found 243 million years ago. That's already a lot of information telling us about fossil and time, its time, history. That's already a lot of information. The fossil itself already gives us a lot of information, because if we didn't find the fossil, we wouldn't know dinosaurs even existed. Also, the dinosaur fossils are so deep underground that there was a mysterious layer in Earth that is just black powder stuff. This black powder stuff usually comes from outer space. So scientists have theorized that dinosaurs went extinct because of a giant meteorite that hit Earth. Like, kaboom! I want you to pretend that this is the dinosaurs and this is the meteorite. This is the Earth's layers and these are the dinosaur fossils. Really deep, I know. Between the distance of the crust and the dinosaur down there, we found this mysterious layer that was the black powder I was talking about, which was the meteorites aftershock, which was all that black powder. Does that matter? Yes, because it tells us the timing of when the event took place, millions and millions of years ago. These dinosaur fossils also tell us when the dinosaurs actually roamed and were alive, which, as we said before, the oldest living dinosaur bones, fossils, were 243 million years ago, and there could be even more older fossils. So that gives us information that 243 million years ago was actual living life. These fossils are so important to understanding timing, future stuff, not only future stuff, but present stuff. A lot more information goes into this type of stuff. The rock itself has already given us a lot of information, because sedimentary rock just tells us how much the crust is built and how long it's been since that crust was building. Sedimentary rock also tells us that the Earth has a process of making all of this happen. You see everything around, and the rock already tells us itself that it's able to form around shapes, complex shapes, like a dinosaur's bones. Look at God's beautiful world, man. Can you do that? Can you imagine that when you die? Because you will die eventually. You'll have fossils like that. Isn't that freaking awesome?
Why do you like talking about death so much? Say yes right now. Yes.
When an animal dies and is rapidly buried underneath the ground, it eventually gets so deep that the oxygen in the air is prevented from reaching it. This significantly slows the decay of the animal, and over a long period of time, special minerals from the earth seep into the animal's body and gradually replace its organic material cell by cell. This process slowly changes it into stone, which is how some fossils are formed.
See that? I don't even have to do much. All I gotta do is show you YouTube videos. In the end, what I'm trying to say, man, is that these fossils really do matter in life. You may not understand how much it matters, but eventually you will. These fossils don't give us time periods of major events, when and how a type of species lived, and the simple things. Those are just simple things. The amount of little significant things we are missing, but going over very literally today in this lesson is enormous. But nevertheless, man, those bones mean a lot more than you think. These bones are literally telling us history! Hey man, next time, can you just like get it done? I don't want to come over here again with a bat.
Don't you got a project due as well?
Oh yeah, I should probably get it done.
Wanna play some Minecraft? Yeah, sure.
Alright, bet. I mean, that's game. that's it.